Hey, RC family, welcome to another episode of the RC Lounge podcast with your boy EKJ 24,000. Man, it's been a hot week, burning it up everywhere. 100 degrees here, 100 degrees down. Oh, man. So, yeah, EKJ 24,000 here with another episode. Man, tonight I'm going to bring to y'all one of the queens of RC off-road racing. Young lady named Kiarria Hold. Many of y'all may know her. Many of y'all may not, but we're finna introduce you to her in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm just checking in with the RC family, see how y'all doing this evening, what y'all been up to this past weekend. And yeah, like I said, we just gonna chill, have a great episode again tonight. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's Monday went very well. And hey, it's just time to relax now and just have a good time and just do what we do, talk about RC. And hey, here we go. Let me get my homegirl from back here eating up all my Cool Ranch Doritos back there, eating up all my Oreo cookies, eat up all my Chip Ahoy double chocolate chip cookies back here in the back. Let me get her out of my green room, eating up all my food back here, man. Well, yeah, y'all welcome to the RC Lounge. Like I said, a queen of RC. I think this might be the second young lady that we had in the lounge. It's always an honor to bring a young lady up in here and just talk with her and just let her do her thing. But y'all welcome Miss Kiarria Hold.
Hi.
Kiarria, what's up, man?
Nothing much.
Hey, man, like I said, me and Kiarria, we kind of met and talked at Wicked Weekend. So I was like, Kiarria, you want to come on the show and just give a point of view just of RC from a latest point of view and let, you know what I'm saying, the latest that's out there thinking about getting into it, that maybe just bashing or either just, got a car or either, maybe influenced by, they maybe a significant other or either, their dad may have one and they interested in it and they feel kind of, intimidated or kind of shaky about getting into it. So I was like, let me ask Kiarria what she think about this, and let you give some advice to them. If they're in a situation like that, even to like single moms that's maybe have kids, they may want to get into it. They may have some, young daughters or something that they may want them to get into something that's fun and they can really help them in everything. Really, we think about it. RC helps you out socially, you know what I'm saying, and meeting people. So yeah, y'all welcome Kiarria Hold to the RC Lounge. And hey, like I said, it's just cool, laid back. So Kiarria, tell everybody where you from. Tell everybody where you from.
So I'm Kiarria Hold. I'm 18 and I'm from Stuart, Florida, which is more southern. I've been racing for about like 8 to 9 years, something around that range.
Okay. Yeah.
I got into it with my dad when I was real young and just kind of stuck with it ever since.
Oh, okay. Okay. So your dad, he raced too?
Yeah, so when I was younger, my
Mhm.
dad broke his back
Whoa.
and we couldn't really do much and we saw an ad on TV for a Traxxas basher
Okay.
and he bought one because it was something easy. He could take me out to the front yard, just sit in a chair, and like I could just run around the yard playing with it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up breaking it. I don't remember how. So we called a hobby shop to see if they had the part that we needed to fix it, and they they sent us to what Beachline is now. It was called Space Coast at the time.
Yeah.
And when we got there, we got the part, and then we saw like the actual like racing scale cars, and we were like, we got to do this.
Right.
And we left that day with the two-wheel drive buggy.
Awesome. 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 Yeah, like I said, man, that's how everybody starts, bashing and just getting into it and getting out there in the yard, ripping it around and shoot. That's where everybody starts it, from that bashing field with the Traxxas or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you said your first car was the Traxxas?
Yeah, I had a electric
Uh-huh.
Traxxas Rustler, I think, and my dad had the like I think it was called like the Evo or something like that, like the
Um,
bigger the
Bigger
truck.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
What you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah,
Evos, I think they had like all the kind of like the hop ups on it already and stuff like that to come with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so you started from that. So what was your first race kit when you kind of transitioned from the Evo to your first race kit? What was it? What was it?
I don't remember like the model name exactly, but it was a TLR two-wheel drive short course. My dad
Okay.
started with this was back when people actually ran the rear motor two-wheel drive.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we started out with TLR cars.
Cool. Cool. And then it went from TLR to what?
Oh Lord, there's a whole lineup. So
Because I know you're on the HB now. So
oh, I'm
so what,
on Associated right
I'm
now.
associated because you were HB for a minute.
I was HB for a minute, so I
Okay.
went. So
Okay.
Mugen was
So
actually my first chassis sponsor.
okay.
I drove the Mugen cars for like 2.5 years, something like that. Then
Mhm.
I was with HB. Um, that went TLR, and now I'm going on my second year with Associated.
Okay. So what made you go with Associated? What kind of drew you to them? You know.
So after Mugen,
Yeah.
I was actually taking a break from RC, and when I got back into it, we wanted to try something new at the time. Like the HB cars were like all new. Is when the HB car kind of took off and like everyone
Mhm.
started running it.
Yeah.
Um, and we went from HB to TLR, and we just kind of noticed like a C Hub car probably wasn't just the best fit for me.
Right.
And being in Florida and being on the JC team,
Yeah.
um, and AE being a pillow car, it just kinda seemed like the perfect match, and the pillow cars just seemed to fit my driving style way better than the C-Hubs.
I got you. I got you. Okay. So you run the tires, JC? You on JC tires?
Mhm.
Me too. So
Yeah.
we teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We teammates. So yeah. So you went from HB to Associated. So how you liking the car so far? How you liking the Associated car so far?
I love them.
Uh-huh.
They're no matter how the car is on the track, like, I still feel comfortable driving it.
Right.
Like, the track could be in the not best condition, or the car could be a little bit better, but I feel like I could still run a semi-consistent run
Mm-hmm.
even if the car is not at its full potential.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. So they real.
Yeah.
Are they easy to, far as your maintenance and stuff, are they easy to, to work on and
Um, the more you get to know the car, yes, at
yeah,
first, it's kinda difficult
yeah.
to just,
I got
like,
you.
understand what the car needs for a change.
Mm-hmm.
The AE car is really, like, the first car that I've understood how to work on because my dad is primarily, like, my mechanic and my pit guy, and
Yeah.
but the AE car has been easier for me to learn on than the past cars that I've driven.
Okay, that's cool. That's what's up. So Do you get in there and do your wrenching, or do your pops help you out some?
When we're at races, my dad will, but from time to time I'll go out and practice on my own, and I can do the basics on my own.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And like I say, anytime you out and if pops can't make it or whatever, feel free, what I'm saying, to ask. If I'm there, feel free to ask, or if anybody that especially on your team. I know
Yeah.
them guys are definitely all them guys over there, they'll definitely help you out. Especially Lee Setzer, he real cool.
Yeah.
Me and him supposed to do something real soon too, far as like the podcast. But yeah, any of them guys are gonna help you anyway. They got your back. They got your back.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah. So from there, so again, just fresh our memory again. How you get into racing? What brought you into the racing side? I mean, you had
Yeah.
from coming up sports. Oh man, hold on, work.
Um, Not sure if I'm the one that got lost or if he did, but I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Okay, I think he's coming back. His power cord got disconnected. Um, Anyways, I'll just tell y'all. Oh,
Here you go. Here you
back.
go.
Okay.
My bad. Okay, now what were you saying? My power. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, I went home this past weekend to my mom's, and I was gonna take my laptop, right? So I was
Okay.
like, let me take the laptop, and I was like, no, I'll just hold off. I'll use my mom's laptop if I want to go live or something while I'm at her house. So I did unplug it, my laptop here, but I forgot to plug it back up. You know what I'm saying? Because I did end up leaving it here and not taking it, but I didn't plug it back up. So that's what happened. Appreciate you. Hey, thank y'all for holding on. Kiara, thank you for holding it down for that small intermission. Had Kiara that turning red and everything. But yeah, so yeah, man. So okay, what were we saying? Oh, how you got it? Okay, I was
Oh, I
saying,
got in.
yeah. Wayne RC, what's up, fellas? Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging in there, RC. See, this is my family, man. They got my back. They know how things go sometimes, so it's all good. So yeah. How'd you get into racing again?
So,
Uh-huh.
just a little background. Everyone on my dad's side of the family grew up racing, whether it was snowmobiles, sprint cars, whatever. Um, so when my dad saw the cars, he was like, "This is something we have to do." So
Yeah.
my dad broke his back, and we got the basher. We went up to Space Coast at the time
Mm-hmm.
and got the parts to fix it. Ended up leaving with the kit,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 9, I think, at the time. And so my dad started the whole racing before I did.
Okay.
So it was like 9 months after my dad started racing is when he brought me into it.
Yeah.
And at the time, my local track was Coral Springs, so I was really just racing there while he did like the Super Cup and all that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started racing more, like traveling and racing with him when I was around 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got into it when you was around 10. So what from there, what was um what was the thing that kind of drew you? Was it just because you saw your dad doing it, or did it really kind of, you know, like make a light bulb go off? What really grabbed your attention? Something to make you still want to do it as long as you have, thus far.
It was kind of like a light bulb. I grew up. I was always tall, like a tomboy.
Yeah.
Um, and I just liked the atmosphere. I grew up going to NASCAR races with my parents, watching Supercross. So the idea of
Yeah.
racing really was nice to me. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that really helped was JR Mitch.
Okay.
He's local.
Yeah.
And when I was a novice, I was racing the TLR cars, and he'd post me on his blogs, help me out at the track, give me setup advice, give me racing advice. So having that pro driver there to kind of look up to and be
Yeah.
at the track with me really kind of helped me stick into it.
Okay. Okay. So Jr. Mitch really made you, what I'm saying, with him been around helping you out, showing you the ropes and stuff like that. He kind of, you know, made you really stick to it and really encouraged you to do it. So
Yeah, yeah.
when did you start really seeing yourself having a little, a few skills, some talent in it or whatever? When did you really start seeing yourself kind of, you know, coming into your own with racing?
It'll probably have to be the first time I beat my dad in a race. So this was back when Beachline was
Okay.
dirt. They ran an 8 scale series, and me and my dad both
Yeah.
ran e-buggy, and I beat
Mm-hmm.
him. And from that day, my dad was like, "All right, I'm done racing. I'm gonna be strictly your mechanic, and we're gonna do this." And that's when we really started traveling. And once you start taking it serious, like you just see like a massive growth in your skill level,
Right.
and that's honestly when I saw that this was something that I wanted to pursue.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. And y'all, she is the truth. And I tell you, she the truth. Tell them what all classes you run and what classes do you run in and what cars you run.
So I run the team associated cars. Back home for the Florida RC Champ Series, I run Pro Nitro Buggy and Pro E Buggy, And then when we
Okay.
go to like the race time races or Silver State or anything like that, I'll run intermediate, nitro buggy, e buggy, and nitro truck.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense because when we at those big races, that competition level goes really up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it really does.
yeah, yeah. So I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay. So what drew you to the nitro side? And what made you come out of e-bug? You still run electrics too?
I run e buggy. I don't
Yeah.
really run 10 scale that much because I just don't have the time
Yeah.
to run both a lot with
Yeah.
school and racing. 8 scale is pretty much what I choose to spend my time on.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I primarily run nitro and e-buggy for like the local series and all the race time races.
Yeah. But yeah. Steve Harris, he's from Cali. You may know Steve.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my partner right there. Yeah, Steve. But yeah, from there, so so just far as just being a young lady at the track and everything. So how has how has that been? You know, being kind of like the minority. I kind of understand because sometimes I'll be the only brother at the track. You know what I'm saying? But how's that been? Being the only female at some of these races, and how has that been with you? How is that um situation being with you?
When I was younger, it was definitely
Yeah.
kind of intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because, I was just a young little girl around this track with grown men, but being able to like kind of create like your own little family helped. Now I don't really notice a difference.
Yeah.
Um, like when it comes to actually being at the track, but
Mhm.
outside of the track, I do see like I get more I don't want to say attention from other people, but like I feel like I get noticed
Yeah.
because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the same as everyone else, which is it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I like to say that there's no big difference between me and every other guy at the track.
I got you. I got you. I understand what you're saying. So yeah, it's like as far as myself, um, I mean, I ain't have no issue with like racism, nothing like that. Because especially with RC, because number one, everybody pretty much like minded. We like what we do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's one big thing that brings us together. Number one, and then number two, I mean, you have to talk to people and really see, what they're about to really to be like to judge somebody like that. But if you don't open your mouth and talk and get to know somebody, and 9 times out of 10, like I said, we already got one big thing in common, which is RC. People may look a certain way, but you know what I'm saying, once you start talking to them, you be like, man, I totally had you pegged all wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I never really had no issue with anywhere I've been. Um, it's always been a fun atmosphere. Everybody been very helpful. Just like this past weekend, like I said, I went up to my mom's house and I called up I messaged some of the guys that run that RC3 up there in Huntsville. Could I come to the track and turn the lights on, just turn a little laps, get a little practice in? They was like, man, come on up there. I'm gonna tell you where the light switches are. Just make sure whatever you turn on, make sure you turn it back off. You know what I'm saying? Just leave everything how it was when you got there, whatever, and go ahead, enjoy yourself. So yeah. So like I said, everybody's just been helpful, and yeah, I have no complaints. I have no complaints. I know it's good and bad people everywhere, but I just like you said, like we just said, once you talk to them and see what kind of person they are, then you just go from there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's good. That's good that you had a good experience in it, far as being a young lady. Just far as the young ladies that's thinking about doing this, kind of intimidated. What kind of advice would you give them?
Honestly, like
Yeah,
just try to get social. If you do it with your dad, like have your dad go with you to talk to people because once you talk to people at the track, once you make friends, like you realize like you guys become family really quick. And
right.
once you have that select group, it's easy. You start traveling together, you start experiencing different races together, and it just makes things easy.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, so how has the relationships been with some of the ladies that's some of the young ladies that's already in RC? Have y'all gelled as have you developed any friendships with them, or how has that been?
Yeah, so there's not a lot of females that
Right.
race. I
Mhm.
did make one, I wanna say, like, lifelong friend. Her name's Mackenzie White.
Yeah.
I basically grew up with her. We got into racing around the same time together. Our dads became best friends. They live up in Tennessee now, so I go up every once in a while to see them. We travel to P&B together.
Yeah.
Um, so you do make lifelong friends. I don't know if you know who Maddie Osted is, but me and her are pretty close. Like, she doesn't go to the track much, but we stay in contact.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm not really, like, that close with other females outside the track, but when we're at the track, like, we'll talk and hang
Yeah.
out.
That's cool. That's cool. So how would you feel if you went to the big races and like just say for instance, for example, if you went out there to the dirt with Joey or you went to one of Dave's races, how would you feel if they had like a all females class? Would you want to do that, or would you just continue to race like you've been races? You know what I'm saying? Would that be fun, or how you feel about that? How would you feel?
Um, I don't know. This was, like, a question that was brought up to me before, and I
Uh huh.
kinda have mixed feelings on it, 'cause I don't I don't know if I really like the spotlight of being a female in RC. Like, I like being treated just like everyone else.
Right.
I don't wanna be labeled, like, the female in RC. I just want to be, like, an RC racer, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like, I think it would be a cool idea, and if they did it, I would definitely participate just like how they did, like, a 15U class at those races, and I ran 15U, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I would see it as something that would be cool at, like, every race, you know? Because
Yeah.
I like being incorporated with the guys. I like feeling like one of the guys.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. So what you been racing for? Um, Probably 8 to 10 years. How has some of the RC um lessons that you got out of RC? How has that kind of spilled over into like real life lessons? Has anything from RC kind of taught you anything from life, or either vice versa? Some from life that you kind of incorporate into RC. Maybe like just say if you played softball or track or anything like that, or how has those skills kind of intertwined, how they kind of mesh together?
Um, I would definitely say learning how to take losses,
Okay.
um, became a lot easier, whether it was, like, losing a volleyball game or whatever. Like, you learn good sportsmanship real quick because people will not take sore losing at the track very well. Um,
You
and
lying. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
just being around, like, the older people at the track, I think it helped me, like, mature pretty
Yeah.
well. You
Hmm.
know, I've always been told, like, I seemed pretty mature for my age, and, it kinda I feel like being at the track, and growing up around that atmosphere kinda helped me be, like, a more well-rounded person, more goal-oriented, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And like I say, I noticed when you at the track, um, I noticed you just be yourself. You social. Um, you say you're a tomboy, but you still have your feminine side. You still have
Yeah.
your nails and stuff like that, and you can do, what I'm saying, keep yourself looking nice and stuff like that. And that's great because that's just inspired young girls. You can still be yourself and do this. You know what I'm saying? Either way, however you want to present yourself, as long as it's in a positive way, um, you can do that. You can do that and race this. And like you said, it just like you said, help you all aspects with dealing with losses, dealing with going basically going through adversity, knowing how to win, knowing how to pick lines and stuff like that on the track. Far as just when we focus on just the racing part, like learning how to pick your lines and stuff like that, and getting yourself time and giving yourself space, how to drive in traffic and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. So from that, um, if you had an opportunity to talk with Clayton, the new Roy president, if he said, Kiarra, what can RC do to be better for the young ladies in the sport? What can we do to improve maybe our racing, maybe improve the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, for y'all, feel more comfortable. Um, what kind of advice could you give us as far as Roar to make this a more friendly for everybody? What would you tell him?
I don't know. Honestly, like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like racing how it is, like I've never really I don't really want to say I've ever felt like because I was a female, like I've seen hardship at a race. Like I feel like it's always been kind of equal. Like if I was experiencing it, like other guys were too.
Right.
Um, I mean, if I was gonna have to talk to the road director, it would be
Mm-hmm.
more just like about how racing is going, not just like for females. Because I feel like racing, when it comes to females, is pretty supportive. Really, like everyone wants to support the females in the hobby.
Right. I got you. Cool. Yeah. Um, anything for me? Anything you want to know? Talk back to me. What?
Um,
Anything?
what's your next up and coming race? Like, what's the next big event that you're planning on going to?
Um, I was thinking about doing it's the Peach State
Yep.
Classic. I think that's next month, right?
Yeah.
Um,
September 16th, I believe,
I
is
think
the
so.
date. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my next big one. What about yourself?
I'm kind of on the fence about that race. It kind of depends on how dad is with work. I don't travel to the big races by myself just
Okay.
because I'm not completely comfortable with that yet. Like
Right.
it's like a 9-hour drive. Doing that by myself is kind of
Yeah.
iffy.
Iffy. Right. Right.
Um, so if we can get off work with dad, that'll definitely be my next race. I went to it last year.
Uh huh.
Honestly, probably one of the best races I went to all year. It was ran good. The
Oh
track was
really?
good. The
Yeah.
the weather is beautiful. The town is right great food. I'm telling you, restaurants there, the bomb.
What y'all had to eat? What y'all got to eat when y'all
They
was up there?
I don't know if you know who the Oliverises are. But me and the Oliverises went to this Italian restaurant. Forgot what the
Okay.
name of it was, but it was just down the road from the track.
Yeah.
So good. And they had this coffee shop just out of town. I went there every morning.
Oh, okay. So they got everything you need right there, huh?
Oh yeah, the town is adorable.
Yeah. Cool, cool. But yeah, that's the next one for me. And but yeah, that's hey, I'm gonna definitely try to make it now since you didn't put me on some good food and everything. So yeah, that's one I
Oh,
definitely gotta make. Yeah, yeah.
the weather was so good too. Like it was the perfect time of year.
Uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah. From so are you gonna try to change up your race program any far as like mm, far as like any kind of setup stuff you want to try different um going into this next big race, or you gonna pretty much keep everything consistent like it's been? What you what you think about
Um,
that?
are you talking like sponsor wise or just like
Not
car wise?
just car wise, like um just say compare it from week to weekend how your car was set up there. Is anything new you want to try, or either something that you may want to you maybe want to keep it the same going into like the Peach State race, or either it's something you may want to change going into the Peach State race far as your cart wise. Yeah.
Setup wise, honestly, I'll probably keep the same as I did more towards main day at Wicked, just
Yeah.
because you're running on the same dirt in almost an identical arena.
Mm-hmm.
So the races together are very similar. If anything, it would just be like tire changes, just different compounds, different treads, stuff like that.
Okay. What kind? What's your go-to tire for J Concepts? What's your go-to tire? What you like? What's your top two go-to tires?
My
Top
top
two.
two.
Yeah.
Back home, I run a lot of Cosmos or Blocker.
Hmm.
But when I'm going to like a race time race or anything like that, it's reflex is the first thing I pull
Yeah.
out. I don't even have to look at the track, and I pull out reflexes for my first practice round because
I got.
they're a safe tire. They work in pretty much any condition.
Yeah.
Um, they're just stable.
Okay.
Back home, it's more bumpy, so Cosmos definitely work the best when it comes to being down here.
Yeah. Look at Steve Harris. Steve said, "Fly me." He want to come down to the Peach State race down to Georgia. But yeah, far as far as you're practicing, like when you go practice, how do you approach practice? What's the things you kind of trying to focus on when you just go out there? Let's say you getting ready for this Peach State race. When you go, just say maybe towards the end of the week, you might go practice. What things do you think you need to improve on, or what you want to try during practice time?
When I go and just solely practice, like no race or anything like that,
Mhm.
I mainly just focus on consistency and how I take corners. Um,
Okay.
taking corners has been a big thing that I've been trying to work on this past year, not blowing them and pushing too hard in them, just keeping them like smooth and tight.
Yeah.
When it comes to like practice rounds at races, I try to not look at my time and just solely work on getting lines down.
Yeah.
Um, taking Wicked for example, like I heard everyone in the pits like talking about like, oh, like I just ran this as my fast lap. I just ran this as my fast lap. I don't even look at that till the end of the day because I don't want like that kind of pressure on me when I go out and practice. Like, just
Makes
want
sense.
genuine practice laps when I go out.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. And then from there, like going into your qualifying during the races, what's your mindset for as like what you want to accomplish just in your qualifier, just so it give you a good solid qualifier? What's the things that you concentrate on during your qualifying race?
Just getting a solid start.
Hmm.
Um, just try not to make a mistake on the first lap. It's better to start middle and work your way up when it comes to qualifying time than
Yeah,
wreck on the first lap and spend the rest of that qualifier playing catch up.
I got you.
And also just try not to start in traffic. That is
Yeah.
the worst thing you could do is start with traffic.
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I try to that's what I be trying to tell everybody here. Like, say if I can't go to the track, and I know that I have an issue with blowing out corners sometimes too, especially when I'm pushing. You know how it goes when you're pushing.
Yeah.
Um, I try to set cones out if it, even it might be in the street or either go to a parking lot and just try to hug them. You know what I'm saying? Hug the cones just to give me the just to really I can feel like when my breaking points are, when to break, if I have to sometime break sooner, like backing my braking up, you know what I'm saying? A little breaking a little bit more sooner, doing that, just so I get hit that corner just right, stuff like that. But yeah, I get it. I get it. So from there, um, it was a it was a discussion on the No Name RC podcast with Keenan, right?
Okay.
They were saying that had discussion about like trophy girls, and they were saying that they didn't really kind of want trophy girls because it's kind of demeaning to women, I guess, because of the outfits that they wear or whatever. So I was just asking you, how do you feel? How would you feel? How do you feel about having trophy girls like at races and stuff like that?
Um, I don't really see an issue with it. I know some girls who race actually look forward to doing it because they get to get all dressed
Yep.
up and look all
Yeah.
nice in front of the other guys. But I mean, it's just like I said, I grew up around racing. I grew up watching NASCAR and super
Hmm.
motocross and stuff like that. So, I mean, I grew up looking at that stuff. I It doesn't seem to bother me. I never really thought of that stuff as, like, demeaning or anything like that. Cause I know some girls genuinely do like dressing up and staying there
Right.
in the streets, just what they
Hmm.
enjoy doing.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's really just personal choice. What you feel
Yeah,
comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, then it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't
yeah.
knock somebody else that like you said, like dressing up, like expressing themselves like that. Like, you know what I'm saying, just to give a different feel. Maybe it might be a modeling opportunity in it. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere down the line. So you never know. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, they just had a debate, and Keenan and Max and them was just debating about that and stuff like that. And I just wanted to run it by you and see how you felt about a situation like that. Um, so do you have any plans? Maybe going to DNC. Have you been to DNC or either Thunder Alley out there on the West Coast? Have you made it out there far yet? Out that
No,
way
I
yet?
haven't. That is a bucket list race. It's been that timing of that race is really difficult when it comes to school.
Yeah.
And just my dad's work in general. My dad works in construction, so January and February is when they get new bids for new jobs and stuff like that. So they'll
It's just
have
busy.
like
Huh?
4 or
Yeah.
5 new job sites starting up around that time, and it just gets hard for him to take off. And it's normally around the start of a new semester, and I'm dual enrolled, so I'm in high school and college at the same time. So
Hmm.
um, January is around that new term start, so I'll be starting up classes and all that. So it's just kind of a difficult time for the both of us. But I made my schedule this year, so we could try to make some cross the country races.
Yeah.
Silver State is definitely one that I'm trying to push to go to this year.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be good for you. And like I said, it give you a aspect of a different type of competition from other side of the US. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be good. Just overall different atmosphere, a different scene, and you can really see how they do stuff over on the West Coast. Compared to us over here on the East Coast. So they'll be good. And Kevin Harris had a question here. He was saying, Kiarria, do you plan on pushing yourself to run pro at a big race?
Um, yeah, that's kind of something. That was one of my goals when I first got into high school. Was I wanted to be able to say by the time I graduated that I was at the level to run pro at like a race time race. But this past year, I haven't really raced a lot. I haven't been able to get to the track a lot, so I've really
Hmm.
just been saying to myself, like, like these more smaller tone races, like the fall brawls and the peach state. Depending on what level of pro sign up is where I would try to bump up to pro. But like the pro racing at race time, I haven't been like consistently podiuming at these races in intermediate, and I want to at least be consistent on the podium or get a win before I bump myself up.
Yeah.
Um, I think just consistently making A and B mains isn't really enough to say like I'm at the level to be at pro.
Yeah.
Um, I want to make sure I'm ready before I make that jump because it's a pretty big jump from intermediate to pro.
Mm-hmm. You're right. But yeah. But Steve, my bad. See, I said Kevin. I played football with a guy named Kevin Harris back in the day. So
Mhm.
every time I see that Harris, it always bring me back to him. Um, but yeah, but Steve Harris, yeah, that's what he was asking. And so Kiara, why you think it hasn't been a pro female racer yet, like a legit pro? Um, I believe it has been one, but I think her name was Miley or something like that. I think she's from overseas or something like
Yes,
that.
I know who you're talking about. I'm blanking on her name. She's actually my age. She was one of the pro drivers that I looked up to when I was
Mm,
first like starting to get serious about this.
right.
Um, I really just think it's because not a lot of females think and like have the goal of being a pro racer. A lot of the
Right.
females that I know that race, they either are in it with their boyfriends or they're in it because they like it, but they have goals for college. And once they get into college, like, is when racing starts to slow down. Um, but I honestly think that's the reason. Not that girls like don't really want to be at that level, just life kind of gets in the way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. Hmm. So what's your plans? You really gonna try to push
Um,
that, or
I
what you
so
think?
I'm going to college for pre-veterinary medicine.
Okay.
Um, the goal is to still try to race while I'm in college. I still have 1 year left of high school to try to fit as much racing in as possible. But the colleges that I'm looking at right now, they're still within a mile, not a mile, but like a good range of tracks. Like the biggest colleges that I'm looking at right now is University of Southern Florida, which is in Tampa, which SS Hobbies is right there. So being able
Hmm.
to take my cars with me and just practice whenever I don't have a class or something would
Yeah.
be would be nice. I don't think I'll be able to race like twice a month anymore, but I still want to race and I still want to have fun when I'm in college.
Yeah, like I said, like we talked about before we got started. College is a different experience. It's just about really planning like ahead of time. So if you want to race, you just have to space it out. Look, get your really have to sit down, get a calendar out, and just really plan out. Okay, I want to do this. I want to race this race, so I'm gonna go head on and you know, as far as like your classes running up until those races that's down in the future, you just have to say, okay, I know I got this race coming up at the end of the month, and I know we studying something that's kind of heavy and just say biology or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead on and write all my notes out what I need to do. So when it's time for the test, I can go ahead on and just read everything and study it, and give me at least 2 or 3 days, to get ready for the race. So it's just about college. College is about like I said, giving yourself time, and it's more about just like racing, being consistent, because there's gonna be times you don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be times that you're tired. It's gonna be times that you just fed up. Teachers ain't acting right. You might have to drop some classes, which may, drop you. As far as like your hours and stuff. And
Yeah.
even with that, if you have to drop something like that, just give yourself time to you know, either pick another class up, or either you may need to lighten your load once you see how things start flowing for us. Like your classes, how they coming for us, like giving yourself, if you feel rushed, you may have to drop some classes. Just give yourself, saying some space and some time to do well in your work and stuff like that. So, but yeah, just you'll see it's more of it is more being consistent and giving yourself time to study. And you'll be surprised how you will have some time to raise more than you think you will, especially if you just prioritize stuff, your time and stuff right. So, but yeah, so don't be discouraged with your racing and trying to go to school. It can be done. I done it. Um, yeah, I did have to cut back on some of the racing, but like I said, then again, it was more of me not really prioritizing my time right. But once I got the hang of it, then I can see, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Just give myself time to do my work. So you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. But yeah, from now, far as what's your favorite class? Like nitro buggy, truggy. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
It's kind of in between Nitro Buggy and Nitro Truck.
Uh-huh.
I like the competitiveness of Nitro Buggy, how you really have to be on top of it
Yeah.
to do good, but with Truck, I like how you can push it everywhere. Like it'll go over any bump.
Wide open. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve said her girl name was Jessica Pelt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She runs HB over in I think Sweden.
Sweden or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, so you say you like which one you like the best?
But
Go
I'm
ahead.
probably gonna have to go truck, honestly.
Why you like truck?
Nitro truck.
What about truck you like the best? I
So
know you.
okay, so the part about Nitro that I like the most is like the sound and like the long races, but the part that it's a team effort, like the pit stop. When it comes
Mhm.
around to being pit stops, it gets so like hectic when it comes to the leaderboard because everyone's just jumping up and
Yeah.
down
Mhm.
around everything.
Yeah.
Um, and I like the 30-minute race.
Yeah.
The fact that you can have a flame out on the first lap and then still end up winning at the end.
Yeah.
Like the anything can happen type 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 situation.
You right about that. Yeah, because like I said, in those 30-minute races, man, it's you can be you don't have to be the fastest, but if you can, like you said, be consistent and just keep it together and just click them laps off. Like you said, anything may happen, but if you just because it's always Kiara, I didn't figure this out. Like in a 30-minute race, it's always like around about that, maybe 12 minute, 13, 14 minute. It's like everything, it just get hectic. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
everybody's going, everybody panicking. You know what I'm saying? You got probably about 6 or 7, 8 minutes left, and things just go crazy. But if you just can be in that moment and see how hectic it is, but you just stay calm and keep putting down consistent laps, yeah, it puts you in a good spot at the end. Yeah. So, but yeah, but so what else? Okay, Peach State. What else? What else you got planned coming up? What else you got planned coming up? You're racing.
I like AMS. It's just like I said, hard when it comes to taking the time because that's like a miss 4 days of school
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
SIC will probably be our next big one after that.
Okay.
Fall brawl, if they decide to have it, that'll be something that we do. PNB is always a staple. That is a race that we go to every year. It's probably one of
Yeah.
my
You like
most
that?
favorite
Yeah.
races of the year.
That's a
Um,
grind race. That's a grind. PNB a grind now. You
it
get
is.
stay up
It
all
is.
night. Yeah.
I've been to PNB. If I go this coming year, this will probably be my fifth year in a row going.
Uh,
It's been my staple at Scale Race. It's been something that I make sure I'm at every year.
yeah.
Um, Silver State we're gonna try to go to.
Cool.
Um,
That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
wherever national wise, we're probably gonna end up trying to go to nationals. Just because going into college, spend as much time going to these big bucket list races that we can
Yeah.
before I end up going.
I got you. I got you. For us down there in Florida, what all you want to hit up down there in Florida? What you got coming up in your hometown, in your home state? What you got going on?
So right now we're in our break season with the Florida RC Champ races. October, I think 20th is the date. Um, I can't tell you the track off the top of my head, but that's when the Florida RC Champ races start back up.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, it's just club races, just practicing stuff like that. That's really like our only 8 scale series that is
Hmm.
traveling. All Out RC has their Purge series.
Yeah.
That goes on. So we'll go to a few of those if we have time.
Okay. Okay. And then they just have a purge race. Um,
Yeah, I think
a
they
couple
did.
weekends ago, something like. I think I saw something on Facebook about a purge race. Purge
Yeah.
race. But yeah. So yeah, if you see Trent Walker down there in Florida, please bust his head for me, okay? That's all. That's my request. You know what I'm saying? Please beat
Okay.
him. Beat Trent. Please
That's a
do that.
little hard to do, but I'll try my best.
Okay then. Okay, that's
He,
good.
he's one of our local fast guys.
Yeah, I know they good people. Him and Mike, him and his dad,
Yeah,
real good. They
they
always
are.
be, yeah, they always mess with me. So, but yeah, but yeah, anything else? That's all I really had, my friend. Um, anything else you got going on? Anything you wanna say? What's up to your sponsors or anybody or what else you got?
I do kind of have like this idea that I want to put out there.
Go
Something that
ahead.
I would
Yeah.
see come to the RC community. Um, I want to see like these big companies or like these big race directors or whatever you want to call it, like kind of make like a scholarship for kids in RC. Like I know a lot of kids prioritize racing over sports in school or other activities to put on their college
Right.
resume. So something like they're missing out on scholarship opportunities for that. So like having a scholarship within the RC community would be pretty cool for kids that want to continue racing but also get like a further education.
Yes. And like I said, that's I'm into like mentoring the youth, and that's one of the things that I would like to implement when I get my program really start going. And I'm working on this program with a guy named Adrian. He's developing like kind of like he's gonna have like 6 different tracks, but they're more of it's more of a community where everybody can come and have fun. But far as the RC part of it is like he's teaching kids like he's not gonna have the beginners out on the track with like let's say the more advanced drivers. So he's like teaching you from track. You got to master this track to go to the next track. So he's teaching you how to race, teaching you how to
That's
get
cool.
better.
That's
Yeah. And but far as like the schools, yes, they should have a program where um that you can do either through your like shop class with mechanics or whatever, as far as like RC or whatever. And yeah, it should that should lead into you be able to have a scholarship and and get into these companies because that's just building more workers and stuff like that for these big name companies too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
like
that's a good thing. Yeah. What was your idea? What would you do if you had the plan, like the business plan and the lesson plan? How would you structure something like that?
so say I was like the person that put on like say like a race time type company to put on like these races. I at every race would do like a 50-50 raffle. Someone would win 150 in the raffle and then the other side of the 50 would go into a fund at the end of the year. Whoever
Mm,
is like I don't want to say like most improved, but somehow we find a kid in the RC community that is, going into college or is going to go into college in the next few years, whatever. At the end of that year, we give that money to them, specifically say like this is the so and so RC scholarship. This is designated to you for your future educational endeavors and just kind of do that every year. If I
yeah.
had if I had 4 big races that I was putting on and I did a 50-50 raffle or even just like a donation type thing, like I feel like you would generate a good amount of money to give
Hmm.
to a kid who's trying to continue racing while getting a further education.
Yeah. Most definitely. And I think it should follow up through college too.
Yeah.
As far as because we look, man, we actually what we doing, Kiara, we learning engineering, we learning as far as like working on the cars, mechanical and electrical. Cause you do electric side, you gotta learn how to wire stuff up. We doing um kind of like physics and stuff like that with like track building. You got to be able to put the jumps at a certain angle, a certain amount of space in between the jumps. So you getting that aspect. You know what I'm saying? So how it relates, and then you know what I'm saying. Then you get it's an opportunity where a kid can go travel and get learn different cultures doing the same thing. So you get exposure with just traveling the world or traveling to different cultures, learning, teaching somebody else RC. And so, yeah, I think this could follow you all the way up to, out of college into like a business, to like a Miyako business manufacturer or, associated and open up you an opportunity to get a job in these big brands. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
most definitely. Most definitely. Yes. Yes. That'd be good. Um, but my friend, that's hey, That's all I really had. Like I say, is when we start talking, it flies and it's good. And I've enjoyed this. I've
Yeah, I
enjoyed
have too. Thank you for having me on.
it. Hey man, anytime, like I say, anytime you wanna put something out, like you just did, like you just dropped that great idea. Um, anytime you want to put something out or promote anything, just holler at me and you got my platform. You know what I'm saying? So it's no problem at all. You're welcome. You're welcome. And so anything else you got? Anything else you got for me or anything you want to put out or let me ask you this. You got any brothers and sisters, anything or
I do. I have an older brother and an older sister.
what they think about this? What they think about RC? What they think about? What they think about their sister racing these cars and being around all these crazy dudes? All what they think? What they think about it?
They they love it. They've never seen anything like it. We're all from up in Maine, so this is not really something that's really popular up there. I think there's only like one carpet track up there.
Okay,
So being raised in Florida and being able to do this, like they think it's really cool.
cool, 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 cool. What your mom say?
My mom, she was when we first got into it, I think she was like, "What in the world is this?" But my mom's my
Yeah,
biggest fan at this point. Like she doesn't watch the live RC because she says it gives me bad juju because anytime she's watching, I don't finish. But she keeps up with the results and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome that you got a great family behind you too. Encouraging you, keeping you going, and you already are inspiration to you. Really inspiration to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody say you just an inspiration to the young ladies. No, you're an inspiration to everybody. Because number one, you're good. You know, and hey, just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, I know you're doing. You got you in your senior year, high school.
Yep.
You doing and you doing some college classes too. That just let you know how smart you are right now. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a good headspace. Um so yeah, keep doing what you're doing, baby, and just stay humble and always be willing to help anybody that come about just within reason that you if you got time to help them out. Um so yeah, keep at it. Keep at it because all thing this is going to do is just open up more opportunities for you and expose your brand, and give you more opportunities. And so you you won't you have an option. You'll have opportunities if you want to do a straight 9 to 5 job like you're going into right now, getting your degree, working with the animals and stuff like that. Um that's great, but you also have this option too if you want to do the RC thing too. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, because like I said, when you get older like me, like I'm 46, I'll do this. This is my my option. You know what I'm saying? To have I do FedEx, but I can, ease my mind from that and do RC. So it just give you some options other than being stuck in one lane. Like I said, when I was younger, I played, sports, just football, basketball, But like I said, this is a whole different area that, I'm saying, if you're blessed to be able to do it, do it. Just because, like I say, it's gonna give you more options and to keep you from being just bored and stuck in one area. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I get what you're
so yeah,
saying.
yeah, just keep at it, and hey, I enjoyed you, man. I thank you for giving me your time because you could have been doing anything else in this whole world, but you came to the RC Lounge podcast tonight. Hey, I can't be no happy, that much more happier, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Well, that's it, y'all. EKJ 24,000. If you ain't ripping, you're tripping. Thank you again for joining me and my great co-host right here, Kiarria. Hold. Y'all check it out. Coming to a track near you. Y'all be well. She ain't nothing to play with now. But yeah, Hey, appreciate you. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, Kiera. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, man. We gonna talk. All right, y'all, RC fan. I'm out, man. And hey, y'all have a great evening. And that's it. Later. I didn't even talk about that. Man. Mm. Oh.